Hey there, fellow tech fanatics. Joe here, back from hospital, and I have what's called a wound vac. So if you hear something that sounds like a really quick fart, it's this thing because it's pulling a 125 millimeter per hour, whatever I think, vacuum in order to promote healing on the foot. And no, you will never see a picture of it unless you really piss me off, and I have your number for texting because gross. It looks like I stepped on a chainsaw and then started the chainsaw and then let the chainsaw run and then forgot to move. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about what's in front of ye. If you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, go follow. Follow, damn it. Follow. You would have seen these. This is a pickup. And I just said like 4 times in the beginning of this video. Don't care. This is a one take. We're just running through it. This is a pickup that I'd been planning while I was in the hospital. Started looking at online stuff. Did it all with my cell phone. I don't normally do that. I usually sit in front of my computer and just kind of zone out and find stuff. But I got lucky and found all this. Sorry, one take. I'm trying to breathe. Just ate. Little pain. It happens. Here we go. This is a X58 motherboard. It's a really cool one. It's the G1 Killer, or G1 Assassin actually. They made 2 versions called the G1 Assassin and G1 Sniper. The main difference is, well, there's a couple of differences. This one is a full ATX. It's actually a little bit longer because it has extra slots. 1 extra slot for PCIe for graphics cards, so you can run 4-way SLI on this one, as well as it's a little bit longer and I think just a touch wider than the Sniper. It's pretty cool because, as you can see, it's got a magazine with the bullet in it and some LEDs, and that's supposed to be a barrel with a sight, and that was the pump going a little bit. And it came with an i7 950. Not a bad processor, but I have a Xeon that's destined for this thing, because this is going to become my new test rig, and we'll talk about my test rig when we get to her, so keep your shoes on, Susie. Not sure what the hell that was about. Here we have 6 sticks of Corsair Vengeance. Yeah, Corsair Vengeance, 1600 megahertz, cast latency 99924. These are all 4 gigs each. Obviously, because the X58 is a 6-DIMM board, it only came with 24 gigabytes. However, that's fine because, as you can see, and it's still one take, it's just I paused it. It's not a jump cut. I actually have 2 more sticks that I've had for quite a long time. So I now have a full 32 gigs of DDR3 RAM that I can use on my workstation. And we'll be talking about that near the end of the video, because I haven't done the video yet on that computer. So it's still kind of pickups because the parts are new to you, the viewer. So that was a pretty good deal. I'll put the total at the end here, or I'll tell you the total at the end because I want you to stay with me. Make your guesses as we go through as to what you think I paid for everything. And whatever it is, you're wrong. Here we have a water cooler. This is from Up Here, which is an Amazon brand, which is a Chinese brand, I believe. It's basically just a cheap 120 millimeter pump radiator combo. It's an all-in-one. Jeez, Joe, what the heck is wrong with you? This was on there, probably sufficient for a stock 970 or 950 or whatever that is. It's not what's going to be on here. I'm actually going to use a Noctua tower cooler because that will allow me to do a little bit of overclocking on the Xeon, because the Xeon overclocked will keep up with any new 4-core or even some of the lower-end 6-core Ryzens, because it's a 6-core processor that I can get the clock speeds out of. So that will be awesome. He threw in 1,000 milliliters of green Thermaltake Coolant. Didn't really need it, but he was like, here, you can have this. And I was like, zang. Because Thermaltake Coolant is not cheap. I know this is an older coolant, but it's still not cheap. That's probably $30, $40. He also threw in a tube of Arctic MX4. Probably $15 right there. He also gave me a Logitech G19 motherboard, but I gave that to Daniel. He's going to sell that for us because he did all the driving today. Because with my foot ski like this, I didn't want to be driving because a wound vac actually wraps we're not going to go into it today. But anyways, it prevents me from being able to drive. Probably won't be able to drive for another month. I'm Miss Daisy, and he's driving me. He gave me a wireless Wi-Fi card. Not a wireless, but a Wi-Fi card made by Gigabyte. But it's kind of cool because this one also does front USB. So you can have a pass-through for USB, as well as you can connect the front USB 2.0 to this, which that's kind of neat. It's also a ×1 slot, which means that I can put it into a couple of my motherboards. It's going to go in that workstation because that workstation doesn't have onboard Wi-Fi, and I don't want to use an onboard Wi-Fi card. That was almost English. So that was all together, and then he threw in this 850 watt Thermaltake power supply. She feels beefy as hell. It's the TR2 RX 850 watt, 80 plus bronze. However, he did not give me any of the modular cables, which kind of pisses me off because it's not cheap to get the cables and I can't find them locally. On eBay anyways. I'm going to go on Reddit and see if anybody has a dead one that they want to sell me the cables from. That's usually where you find the cables on eBay, is from dead units. However, the only place that has it is a place in China. I can get all the cables for like 50 bucks, or I could get just a couple of PCIe cables, a Molex, and a SATA cable for like 35 bucks with free shipping. But it's from China, which means it wouldn't get here until like August 20th, which is over a month from now. So I'm going to give it 2 weeks. If I can't find the cables, then I'm just going to order them and just deal with it then. But for now, yeah. Let's move on to the 3 pièces de résistance that you see up there. First off, that's the weakest card in the bunch. That is a reference card GTX 970. Really quickly, reference card. That's what these are, guys. I see a lot of people, and this one was listed as a Founders Edition. Not a Founders Edition. The 10 series, the Pascals, are called Founders Edition for the very simple reason that they wanted to differentiate from the board partners. NVIDIA did the reference cards and then stopped selling them after a certain amount of time. The Pascal cards got reference or Founders cards because they were sold during the entire life of the card, all the way up until they killed the Pascal series when they moved on to Turing. You could buy that style of cooler from NVIDIA directly, but not with the reference cards. The reference cards are just to show the board partners what they could do if they just wanted to run a stock card with a basic cooler upgrade. Or like this card, which is also a Maxwell, taller PCB, much more power delivery, much beefier cooling, and that's what you do. But anyways, 970. I've actually got the green MSI 970, which is going to go on here, but I'm going to probably put both of these on there just to see what kind of numbers we can get. And that leads me to the next MSI product. This is a MSI Gaming 6 Gigabyte 980 Ti. Why do people say Ti? I never get that. Some people will say, yeah, I've got a 1080 Ti or a 2080 Ti. No, they're initials. It's like people that say SHO for Taurus. Oh, no, that's a show. No, it's not. It's a 1080 Ti. And did I just break a blade? I did. Urgh! It's okay. I got extra fans on that MSI over there, but damn it. Dang it, Joe. What the heck's wrong with you? Moving over here, this is a pretty cool piece. This is a Radeon Fury X with the water cooler. For those of you that aren't familiar with this, this was designed and actually released at the same time as the 980 Ti. It competed almost dollar for dollar at 650 bucks, and this thing is pretty damn quick if it can keep up with the 980 Ti. It's here and there, it can be a little bit faster in some products or games and slower in others, but I'm going to be doing some videos on that. I got a heck of a good price on that. The guy was an eBay seller. However, he was a brand new eBay seller, so I emailed him through eBay and said, hey man, you're a new eBay seller. I'm in the area. I have to come down there to pick up this stuff anyways. I will give you X amount of dollars. Just sell it to me. That way you don't have to take the hit from eBay. And another quick tip, if you're an eBay seller, if you sell on eBay and you're a new seller, you're not going to get paid for at least 2 weeks on these. They put a 21-day hold unless you're an established seller, and even then, it takes 90 days before you can become an established seller, and even after you pass that 90 days, PayPal will then institute their own version of a hold because they don't like people selling tech thanks to the mining craze and fake graphics cards that are out there. So keep that in mind. You're going to lose money because you have to pay fees, and you're not going to get paid for a while. So I mentioned that to him. I said, hey, look, I'm the high bidder. That was the other thing. I was a high bidder. I didn't undercut anybody. I said, hey, man, just sell it to me for that, and I'll just pay you, and we can call it done. You don't have to ship it. He's like, yeah, man, that's cool. Unfortunately, he had a couple other cards, but other people had bid on those, so I couldn't buy those. I'm not going to ask somebody to, take a card or take something out from under somebody else just to sell it to me. So that's it for that pickup. Let's move over to my work in progress station. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know what this is because I posted a picture on Instagram and Twitter again. I haven't done the video on it. I started building this and then I had to stop. This is a Jingsha X59 dual socket motherboard because the X99 dual socket motherboard I ordered never got shipped. So I wound up getting this off of eBay from a US seller, came with the box, all the accessories, so I was really happy about that. Well, I went to water cool it and I used the wrong damn water cooling fittings. Well, actually I didn't, the listing was wrong. These were listed as 3/8 fittings, and as you can see they're 10 millimeter, which is actually smaller than 1/4. So, or it might be right at 1/4, but these are a 10 millimeter outside diameter instead of 10 millimeter inside diameter, and that doesn't work when you have 3/4 inch, or excuse me, 5/8 inch tubing. So what I did was I went on to Amazon and I ordered a bunch of fittings. These are actually 1/2 inch fittings, which you just need to stretch your tubing over a little bit, but once you do that you have an extremely good barb fitting. These won't come off. I'm going to have to cut these off if they need to come off. That's how good those fittings wind up being once you stretch the hose over it. I'll still put on some zip ties to hold them down. Didn't use compression fittings because compression fittings are expensive and not necessary in this case because it's not going to have a super high amount of pressure running through it. In order to establish all that on there, don't know why I said that, I did go ahead and pick up a radiator, which is over here, and I'm talking to you while grabbing it because I didn't prepare. But that's just a cheap 360 millimeter radiator. Doesn't need to be fancy because that can't be overclocked, but I just wanted a bigger radiator than a 240 or 280 millimeter all-in-one radiator that I cut up. So I just need to hook this up, change the fittings, and then that will be ready to fill. And then I can go ahead and put some stuff on there and get it loaded up and ready to go. And by the way, that's the MSI green card that I was talking about that'll go on that sniper or assassin. See, even I can't keep them straight. But that's cool, and then I got all the mounts I need, and I got the drain and some male-to-male fittings for the pump because you should always have a drain in a water-cooled system. I didn't have it set up because I was just trying to throw it together real quick, and I learned my lesson, plus I was in the hospital for a week, so I didn't have time to work on it, but I had time to Amazon. So yeah, this is just going to use this block off plate for the bottom over there, and we're going to put a hard drive on there. But you'll see a full video of me putting this thing together soon. So that's that one. Let's move over to the testing rig and talk about that. This is the test rig that I built in one of the previous videos where you can go up to the cards above and you'll see it. This was supposed to be just a video card testing rig. It's a first generation i7 that's been overclocked, so it actually does pretty good in numbers, but that X58 will destroy it. And that means I have to take this all apart. Wah, no big deal. But I'll keep that board because that board is going to go into that Lian Li case. Sorry, I don't know if my address is on any of that crap. No. Okay, we're good there. But yeah, I just wanted to put a better board in there. It won't be a color matching board or color matching build, but I don't really care about that. So this will become the card testing station. That one back there will become a first gen i7 rig. And then I'll start building a couple of other boards that I have laying around because I want a full collection of cool stuff. That was not good. We're okay. Still working. Hopefully. I have a backup. But that's it. Now for the total. For everything minus the extra 2 sticks I got here, and including that Logitech G19 motherboard or keyboard, don't forget that one, which my buddy is going to sell, should bring about 75, 80 bucks. 265 USD is what I have in all this. And that's less than I got out of a 1080 that I sold to get all of this. So this is what hunting does, guys. I tweeted at Brian from Tech Yes City, and he was like, cool pickups, my man. So someday, if I ever become big enough and I can invite him out, I'd love to have him out here on the East Coast, and we could do a hunting battle to see who can find the best deals or make the best build for a certain dollar amount. I thought that would be cool. Anyways, long video-ish. It's about my average. And I just wanted to show you that stuff. This is what's going to keep me going for the next month or so because I can do several different things. Testing a 970 in 2020, testing the Fury X in 2020, testing a 980 Ti just to see if it's still as fast as it used to be. All that good stuff, and we'll do that. This coolant, I don't know what I'm going to do with that because I really don't want to do a black and green build, but because I have a green graphics card in that, Who knows? Maybe I will, but I'm not going to be water cooling the graphics card. I did that in my personal rig because I had to, and now I can't test any of these cards in that. I would have loved to put these on my X99 rig. I'm selling my X99 rig, by the way, so that's cool. If I sell that, then I'm going to build something even more crazy. I have an issue. When I build something and it's done and there's nowhere else to go, I don't know what to do with it. So then I sell it. If you do that kind of stuff, let me know down in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Starting next week, we'll get back on our regular schedule, and that's about it. So I'm going to get out of here, put my leg back up, and continue to heal. And, as always, I'll talk to you later.